to Costume Commentary. I'm Kate.
And I'm Brit, and today we're going to be discussing the costumes from music videos and comic books of the true lives of the Fabulous Killjoys.
Now let's talk about what actually came up first, and that was with the music videos that My Chemical Romance put out.
In case you don't know, The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys is the most recent and also sadly last album ever put out by My Chemical Romance. It's a totally different vibe than all their other albums. It's a lot poppier, a lot more positive and kind of fun, not so emo. First, the aesthetic started with a series of music videos, which then became a series of comic books, because Gerard Way, on top of being a singer, is also a comic artist. They collaborated with the costume designer Colleen Atwood for the music videos, which is awesome. She has done costumes for so many amazing films, but you probably know her from any Tim Burton film that actually had actors in it. Right in their vein. And for this album, they wanted to do something that was dangerous. And Gerard Way said that he felt that black and gray and dark colors weren't dangerous anymore. Those colors were becoming more mainstream. And what was dangerous now was bright colors and being loud, because that was becoming less and less mainstream. So with this album, it's set in the future. It's a concept album where this company called Blind has taken over essentially the whole world.
Now it's not exactly Blind, it's Better Living Industries.
The very first music video was for the song Na 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 Time 69, and it set up this amazing world really quickly. And the Killjoys are the name of this group, and what they're doing is spreading like color and emotion, including bad emotions, because Better Living Industries has this whole vendetta against feeling they just want you to conform, and the Killjoys are going against that. So the Killjoys each have a goofy, awesome name and a jacket and costume, originally designed by Gerard Way through his sketches and then taken to the next level by Colleen Atwood that coincides with their name. So first off, you had Party Poison, which is Gerard Way, Fun Ghoul, which is Frank Iero, Jetstar, which is Ray Toro, and Cobra Kid, who is Mikey Way. Each of them have these symbols on their backs of their leather jackets that pertain to their names. Fun Ghoul has this mask that looks like a Frankenstein mask that he wears. Jetstar has the space helmet. It's so well thought out and so rounded out, and I think from the beginning they were planning on expanding this to this whole world that at the time they were only going to explore in the music videos, but then eventually turned into the comics. It's really bright, really brash, like neon in a club. When I was in high school, I ate it up. I loved it.
I think a great thing to comment about how the colors are still gritty is that Colleen Atwood talks about how she wanted it to seem like almost like a homeless person. She actually would take sanders to them and then dip them in wax to give them kind of this like stand up on their own kind of look to them.
And on the other side, you have Better Living Industries, including the Draculoids and Course. And my favorite thing about them is the fact that they are white. Traditionally, especially in old like Western films, things like that, even Star Wars, you associate the characters dressed in white with being the good guys. And in this case, they are very much not. The mainstream wants you to be clean and white and pure, and they're going totally against that, and it's that contrast really shows what they were going for. There's also the girl, who sort of looks like an amalgamation of all four guys. Her jacket even has colors from every person's color scheme in it. And there's also Sing, which expands upon that world and takes it to a very sad place, and the colors are different. The set design and lighting on that one gets bonus points. And then after that point, there's Planetary Go, which was actually filmed at a gig and is not technically set in world, but it still adds that vibe. Like,
there's a scene in the comic books where they actually have a gig underground, and it really feels like reading the comic books first and then seeing the music videos, like it feels like it was there.
So speaking of how the comic books and the music videos tie in, Kate's gonna take over for the comic side.
So with the comic books, we get a better look at Better Living Industries, and it really does go along with that like white and pristine kind of feel, except for when you get outside of the business buildings. The world is kind of run down, and my favorite characters are two porno droids. And the color of their hair and their eyes signifies what type of porno droid they are and how expensive or cheap they are.
It's really sad and depressing.
The costumes in the people who are living in Battery City but aren't part of Better Living Industries, it's better than living out in the desert, but it's not as good as being in Better Living Industries. We get a much deeper look at Course. I feel like his costuming really added to him because he feels very clean and pristine, but he's wearing this flowing shirt.
Yeah.
That just
breaks up those lines.
Yeah, it breaks up those lines, and it makes you think like, okay, he's trying to keep all of his wildness inside, but it's coming out of his jacket, and I felt like that was really great costuming for him. And we get a better look at the girl as she's grown up a little bit more after the Killjoys have gone away, and her trying to come into her own and find out more about her life and what she's supposed to do in this world and how she can take over. In the desert, everything is very bright and colorful, and people are fighting, and there's this huge rebellion, and people who were in the rebellion before when the Killjoys were alive are kind of a little more muted and wear clothes more like we wear today. They're tired of fighting, but there's these newer kids who are just like, yeah, we're gonna fight the power, and we're just gonna go out, and they really signify that, and they look straight up like they're trying to copycat the Killjoys.
A lot of the comics is about her trying to figure out, like, what was I told that was true, what wasn't. Deciding for herself what is good and bad. And that conflict is even there in her costume.
She has 3 major costume changes in the comic books, where we first see her, which is almost exactly verbatim what she was in the music videos. And then when she meets up with these kids who are trying to kind of replicate what the Killjoys did, and they give her a makeover, and she just kind of realizes, this isn't exactly where I'm supposed to be, this isn't what they would have wanted me to do with my life.
Yeah.
And then when she finally, like, has this inner awakening of, okay, here's what I'm going to do, and she gives herself a makeover, and it is like the truest her that she could possibly be, and her costuming really reflects that.
When they were doing concept work for this comic, Gerard Way and one of the other artists, we're not going to put anyone in clothes that we're not going to be able to find in this costume shop right now. Because that was how they were going about it. Like, these people are not, there's no one around to make new clothes.
Yeah.
They're finding old clothes and repurposing them. That's how they would have dressed, so that's how they were going to dress the characters. And of course things evolve over time, and there were characters who would have new clothes, and they got ideas different ways, but that start is awesome, that they really thought that through and went full-blown at it, like, this is what we're doing.
And that was a great thing they did with the masks of the Draculoids, is that the first one was actually a vintage mask that Gerard Way had had for years. And then he modified it slightly, and then him and Colleen Atwood went to costuming shops and bought more that they could find that were similar, and then modified them so they all looked cohesive. My Chemical Romance did a really great job of doing something that their fans could take and make their own and be part of it with them.
I will say, I went to a My Chemical Romance concert while they were on this tour in Utah in 2011, and I made up my own Killjoy. And I was a Star Trooper, and I had a mask that was stars on this side, stripes on this side. I had their shirt that had the spider with the flag, combat boots, denim pants, and a leather jacket, and I looked frickin' cool. To wrap it up, bad news first. Which was your least favorite?
I don't know, what was your least favorite? Because I know we have the same one.
Yeah. Sorry, Show Pony.
I get that it was supposed to be kind of flamboyant and crazy, but it was too much. When you take white and blue star-spangled leggings and then you put a black jock thong over them, not feeling it.
And the crop top. It just didn't fit in with everything else. It seemed like there were reasons why they were wearing the things that they were wearing. And then Show Pony, it was just like, well, we need to make up another character, so what is the most ridiculous outfit we can think of? Let's put him in that. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense, and I didn't understand it or like it. That's the one thing about the Killjoy series. I'm like, who even are you?
What was your favorite?
The Draculoids. I am also a big fan of vintage masks. That Fungul is my favorite character, specifically because of the mask he wears in that scene in the music video where he like pulls it off but not all the way, and then he's like, hey, what's up? I just love the way that they look. They look like they're gonna suck your soul in through those masks. They just look pure evil, and they're absolute Snow White. Even their ray guns are white. They're in these white suits, and they're like, essentially, no fun allowed. We're gonna kill you all. It's almost scarier to imagine, like, the world is already so messed up that they're living in. What is so messed up that they need to put a mask on it? Which one's your favorite?
My favorite is Blue, the porno droid. She has an outfit that she wears when she's coming home from work. It's a black corset and panty set that has garters running down from it and a pair of black boots. And then what makes it to me is actually that she's got this clear rain poncho. It just really is an iconic piece to me, that it shows like what her work is, but it shows that she's also a person, that she's, you know, running to get batteries for her girlfriend who is a dying porno droid. It's just a beautiful, beautiful outfit.
Yeah.
And it really, like, it is her character.
But overall, we loved this one. There were some things in it that we were like, about, but 90% of it, awesome.
Yep.
A really well-developed world, really well thought out.
When it's one thing when an artist is like, oh, well, I want this to look like it. It's another thing when they go, okay, here's my idea, and they take it to a fashion designer and is like, make it practical, make it work. Because you get an artist's beautiful idea, and then you have somebody actually make it come to life in a realistic way. Like, don't just watch the music videos. Get the full story and read the comic books, because they're fantastic.
And I would almost say, if you've never listened to the album, read the comic books first. There are so many references where the album on its own is still totally a standalone album. You don't have to know about all this plot in order to enjoy the album. But if you know about the plot, the song Destroya totally is different.
Oh my gosh.
All the references in Na Na Na, especially to Battery City, totally different.
Yep.
Bulletproof Heart, all of it. It takes on so much more meaning. So even if you have listened to it, read the comics and listen again.
Alright, we hope you enjoyed this video, and please make sure to give it a like if you did, and make sure to comment down below if there's any movie, video game, comic book series, TV
Anything,
show
basically.
that you would like us to review.
This Friday we're going to be doing our review of Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, so make sure to hit subscribe if you want to be notified about that as soon as it comes out. Thanks for watching. Where'd you buy that? At the toilet store? But
Now, Daisy's costuming, along with John Ruth's, was not super memorable, but there were little things about it that I absolutely loved. The fact that she is wearing a corset, and we don't see it.
Yup.